Resistente! I'm going to do this video. The intention is to explain a story, but it's going to go on because there's no danger. It's bugging my mind now that I need to get it out there. It's all about splitting the mind. In my booklet, in my TikToks, everything that I've done deals with a split mind. Now I know this, it works, it's 100%. It doesn't matter what you think, what you've been told, what Dr. Hilary Jones or Chris Whitty's tell you. No, this is totally different. This is where the mind splits. So when I was young, because of circumstance in society, my mind split. It split into two different variations of me. There was one which I refer to as man, which is the asshole, and then there was the monkey. The man gave up. He couldn't hack it. He couldn't do it. Society had created this absolute fucking steaming pile of shite, and he couldn't survive in it. It was going to drown him. So he admitted defeat and gave up, and the monkey came out. Now that would have been easy when I was 14, if no before. But I know by 1984 the monkey was in full control, and it did not adhere to the bullshit. It did not adhere to anything that man would try and fire at him to suppress him, to condition him, to corral him and put him in a pigeonhole or anything like that. He just didn't do it, because the monkey was the primeval side, the most closest thing to original source that man has ever had. Now, if you were a disbeliever in that theory, how come when you get drunk you become somebody else? How come when you take drugs you become somebody else? And the amount of guys that turn around the next again day, once the asshole's back in charge, and say, oh, cunt, did I? Didn't remember that. Well, who was it if it wasn't you? And all these gurus, these spiritual gurus, we all go out and search for the self to become one, to gain oneness. How can you become one if you're not already two? So the split theory works. It doesn't matter that there's psychiatrists out there that have the chimp paradox or anything like that. This is the big Al one that only works for me. I don't care that it might no affect anyone. Anybody that's followed my TikToks will know that I can spout some shite. But of late I've been troubled with it because I'm trying to explain it to some very, very dear, close people. And do you know what it is? Me reversing it at an early age, that's my life. My life has always been lived backwards. I have to make the mistakes and then I learn from them, which most people do. But I can then go backwards on the same mistake and find the gems of knowledge that are in there. Now, I've suppressed that knowledge because when you grow in a perpetual cycle of bullshit, there's no really nice people in there. Everybody wants. So if I know how to climb a ladder, somebody else wants to know how to climb that ladder. And no, by the time you've shown them how to do that, they then like, right, thanks, Al, cheers, see you later. And after a while, you're like, do you know what, fuck off. Why are you going to try and find a ladder yourself? Why should I show you how to help? So I suppressed it all and I stopped doing it. And I justify it every time. Anytime somebody says, no, I'll tell you why I didn't do it. To me, the way that I've worked things out in my own psychology has definitely 100% served me to overcome everything I've ever been participant of. And that's right up until 2019 when that last big revelation in my mind was there. It was destined to try and bring me down. You think, is that it? That's the best you've got? You're going to try and bring me down by telling me that I've been living a 28-year lie? Well, by the time the 28-year lie started, I had about 2-3 months where I was in that adjustment period of getting over a 21-year lie, because for birth I was lied to until I was 21 and I got told the story. So to go into it a couple of months later, and then find out 28 years later, oh, society's lied to you. Oh no, what will happen there? Will I take my own life? Will I live my life as an affected victim? Will I need counselling and some fucking labels and medication? Holy shit. Holy Spirit, activate. I'll deal with myself as I've dealt with everything else in life. And the macaroni virus allowed me to spread the whole lot out in front of me, and that's what I'd done. I spreaded it out and I had a look. I removed every door for the prison I'd created inside my own mind. I released what was left of the demons that I'd kicked fuck out of anyway. I'd battered them in 1991. So there was nothing there for me. So now that I've crossed that threshold, I wanted to do that original reading of the wee booklet in order to help people. And I know that's cliche as fuck, but it gives a certain justification to the life that I've thus lived. So makes absolute sense. I'll help as many people as you can. No, I'll just help one. So I read that thing out, and the next minute I've discovered TikTok, and TikTok opened more and more doors that allowed me to engage with people that were deserving. No people that are out to get what they can out of me in any form. And you've got to remember, no, I have dealt in some dark circles, so yeah, there's benefits to be had in knowing an asshole that knows how to open doors. But the doors I wanted to open were the ones inside the mind. I want men especially, I keep saying that, I want them to open their own doors. I want them to go inside. I want them to recognise and realise that there is another part to them, especially if you have trauma, anything that has split your mind, because that's what happens. You split your mind, and like I say, the gurus will tell you, you have to become one. So that means that the split is there. So if you've got a trauma, what you do, you hide it. You hide it in this room, locked door, closet, whatever you want to call it. Now when you split the mind, you split it into two different entities. One, and the easiest one for me, there was, because the inner child is what I buried behind the wall. He stayed behind the wall when you get told that you have to grow up and you have to go out and experience. So you put your toy soldiers in your cars, you put them away, or your Barbie dolls. You put them all away, and then what comes out is what is going to be the man. Unfortunately, my wee man, as he come out, he couldn't do it. He could not survive in the society that was around about him, because it was horrible. It was really horrible. Not that I'm getting out the wee tiny violin, I don't give a flying fuck, but it was a horrible place. So I can understand why the young asshole that was to be the man didn't want it. But the monkey, he wanted it, and the monkey is my split. I split him for a very early age. So if you take that same concept and you come out as the asshole and you go through life as the asshole, the split's there because whatever trauma has made you split, and you find hurt, you find pain. Where do you put it? You put it in beside the other entity. And the best example that I've been trying to explain to some close friends, like I said, is the story of Cain and Abel. For the Bible, no preaching, but Cain and Abel are, as far as I'm concerned, the same person. It's the split mind theory. One's crackpot, one's Johnny Sensible. You decide which one's which. But I personally am saying that where Abel thinks that he's able to take on life, Cain, on the other hand, he is the one that wants to rebel. He's the one that's primeval. He is the one that wants to tackle the puzzles. He wants to understand. Why are you telling me to do this? I didn't need to listen to you. Who are you? Questions everything. So that's all it is. He's a great questioner. But because your mind's conditioned to know that, you have to adhere to everything that man has taught you. So if you're fasting through the night, you will break fast in the morning by having your cereal. So that's one out the window. You adhere to time. You adhere to every format that mankind and society has created in order to condition you into the asshole that you become. So you suppress Cain. Cain gets locked away, and he gets locked in beside all your hurt, your pain, your broken heart, horribleness, everything that is bad in your life gets locked in the same room as Cain. Can you imagine as an able person switching the shoes? That's not a nice place for this other side of you to be. It's the split personality. It's the brother that you wouldn't admit. It's when you look at the Goonies. They've got the brother, but they didn't acknowledge him. They keep him downstairs. That's what we do in our own head to suppress this other side. So when you take drink, vodka, whiskey, and you turn into someone else. No. What you do is that becomes the key, the trigger that opens the door and lets him out. When he comes out, he's pissed. He's out, he's nut on ecstasy, he's nut on cocaine, whatever it is that you've induced your mind with, that becomes the key that unlocks the other side of your personality. So when he comes out, and then the next day you wake up in the cells and you're like, oh fucking hell, what did I do? Oh my God, have I done that? Oh no, that wasn't me, oh. And you convince yourself it was somebody else. What is somebody else? It's the other half of you that you lock away and you didn't let out, you didn't let them exercise, didn't let them go to the pictures, you didn't let them sit and watch a movie with your partner. No, because you suppress him. You didn't want to acknowledge that he's even there, that he actually has space inside your head. Just like you didn't go in and acknowledge the hurt, the pain, the fear, the trauma that you keep in the cell. And that's my whole thing with the prison system in the mind. It's an exact reflection of what the prison system in Asshole Man's world is. It's somewhere you can lock away those things that society doesn't want to deal with. A primeval monkey that will not take what man is firing at him. So right now, we've got the whole COVID restrictions, mandates, mask mandates, first, second booster shot. Come in, didn't come in, 2 metre rule, da. A primeval monkey will not accept that. A primeval monkey will rebel against that because you're trying to tell him what to do. He needs to learn for himself. If it's a mistake, he'll learn for himself. But if you suppress him and keep him locked away in your head, can you see where that makes sense? It's been troubling me for a couple of days now that I don't know if I can convey enough that anybody watching these things can actually get what it is that I'm talking about. Cain Able is perfect. Man and monkey is perfect. It has nothing to do with the inner child. Where is the inner child? He's hidden because he had to give up his thing to let the original come out. And the original either has, it's a coin. It's the yin and the yang. It's whatever you want to call it that splits the two. And when trauma comes in, bang, it kills it dead. If you imagine, teacher says to you, right, open your books at page 5. You do as you're told. If he says to you, right, I want you to stick this nail through your tongue and then punch yourself in the face, the primeval monkey will say, oh fuck, are you kidding yourself on, pal? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense, because it's not that I'm struggling with it. I'm not struggling with it. I want people to try and gauge for all my years how my inner monkey has come to terms with the inner asshole. They become the whole again, they become one, and they then go back as another journey and find that inner child. They find the child behind the wall and they become the trinity of cleverness, which is that thing that I think all these spiritual gurus talking about. It's no, finding the self is one thing, and my wee booklet is called Finding the Self, Building Barriers, because I know that's what it is. We build barriers in front of our Cain, in front of our monkey, in front of the prison door, and create a prison that we didn't want people in. I'm probably having a lot of slavering shite, but it would be fascinating to know that anybody watching this can get it, can understand what it is that I'm trying to convey. Because see, if we all admit, especially the traumatized guys that are living, maybe it's cancer sitting over you, AIDS, drug addiction, all these things that aren't directly linked to you, but you are living with them and within that perpetual cycle of shite that we shouldn't be in anyway. Nobody should be suffering these things. If you admit that that doesn't belong to you, but society has caused you to split your own mind, where there's one half of you that rebels, but you didn't let it out. Why no? Because society tells you you're not supposed to. They didn't want to deal with the primeval side. They didn't want you questioning. Now think about this. They do not want you questioning their agenda. You will do as you're told. That's it. Sit there and do as you're told. And think now, how many times you have been told that throughout your life, throughout the journey. The first one you'll get, or the first one right now to look and start reflecting on, is, okay, you're here to do your job. Listen, I was thinking, no, listen, you didn't get paid to think. Get on with the job. Come on. Ha, 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 back to work. That's what you get paid for. Done. Now go to college. Right, sit there, open your books at page 15. Now, take in this and believe what we're telling you is true. Do not question it. Now crack on. There's a certificate to say you've done it. Then go to high school. Then go to primary school where you're primed to do this. And then what have you got beyond the priming? There's the nursery, but it's all fun. But now, sit down. Let's do it. Hands in the basket. Everybody hands in the basket. Now be quiet. Let's go for sleepy time. Let's go for dinner time. Let's go for playtime. It's book time in the study corner. If that's no conditioning, what the fuck is it? You're conditioned for a young age to suppress the thing that would question what you're being told. And what does question it? The primeval side of your mind. The monkey. The Cain. So you have to put him away. He has to be suppressed because you can't have that. If you get up in every class in your secondary school and challenge the teacher, you will be removed. Why? Because you're a disruption to the rest of the class who are currently being formatted. Sadly, that's who I was. I didn't mind it now that my lackey education, because I learnt nothing at school. This is the stuff I learnt at school. It's how to take that knowledge or that lack of knowledge, but then look at the wider picture, the bigger picture. When I look at that bigger picture, I can see exactly what was going on. And something inside me said, no, we're no listening to this pish. This is rubbish. You're being conditioned for something here. It's like when you're being wound up to do something. I mean, as a criminal, now you'll get your mates saying, look at that, that's Barry, that'd be so easy to do, that'd be easy. And you're like, it would be, aye, listen, see if you got that, you get money for that. You maybe get 40 quid. 40 quid, you say, aye, fucking that doesn't sound bad at all, I know. If only we had somebody that would do it, come on, we could half the money, we could share it. Well, I'll do it then. Same guy. Crazily. It's Thursday. I think it's the 14th, if it's not the 15th of December. And I tell you, see, sitting here in the car park, my wife's away and doing the shopping because I can't do that shit. I can go in, but I'm going in. I'm not wearing the mask because, again, it's that rebellious side. I will do it to avoid a fight, but because I never ever want to fight. But it's just daft. I think it's crazy. I've had the virus, and shots or no shots, it's irrelevant. It does not matter to me at all. It's about the conditioning of the mind. Again, this is another massive, I think they call it a psyop, an operation to control, another control measure. And to me, in my other mind, as in the monkey's full attachment, he's questioning it, saying this is wrong, this is wrong. They're trying to dig out free thinkers for some reason. The way they're digging them out so that they can suppress them, condition them, get them out of society. I don't know. I have no idea what their thought and theory is behind it. I just know that it just doesn't feel right at all. So sitting here in this wee car park, just airing my mind, allowing my mind to exercise its thoughts. Because I see these thoughts as being very, very smart. That if I've done this long a journey, I should be able to pass it on to my fellow man, because that's the kind of person I am. I want to help people. I don't want to see people struggle. If you're an asshole, then by all means, just scroll on type of thing. I'll not help you, no chance. But right now, because I've said it for a long time now, we're being tested to distraction, and if they can distract your mind for going inside and having a look and acknowledging what I'm saying, it's when you look now with everything that I'm saying and have a look around the globe and see how many people have been activated by something very strange that they're now thinking, hang on a minute, I smell bullshit here. That is the primeval side of them questioning everything that they were told was correct, true, and the right way. So, yeah, I'm delighted that I want to put this out here now so that it's kind of recorded on record that I've been saying this, and I've been trying to convey it to people for a long time. The wee booklet I've done, it's great. The things that are coming back for that, questions, and these conversations that really do, they stimulate my primeval mind. Because I'm one person now. There's me, there's the inner child, and there's the asshole as well. And we're delighted with the journey. As shite and horrible as it was, it's been an absolute blast. I loved the whole lot, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I found every gem that was hidden in amongst them all. And I'm now willing to show everybody the gems that are there. As I look around about me now and I watch, the bits of news, no the mainstream media, no GMTV or any of these fucking half-wits that are peddling pish. I'm talking about the people that are the American side, the stuff on YouTube and these channels where you have to go searching for them. And that's where the truth lies. You have to go and search for the truth. It doesn't come and land on your door in a fucking newspaper, owned by Rupert Murdoch and all these other guys that have different labels and titles, but the same bullshit that they're peddling out to you. Think about it. None of it makes you question life, because it's like, all right, I were to do that, okay, and so says that, and all right, okay, that. And then you have the same conversations around the workplace with your fellow workers that are also being conditioned. And it's the same results every time. Because right, okay, now I get it. That's what that means. That's what that headline means. Oh, have you seen the girls in page 3? It's the distracting humanity away from the truth. This is a monumental time in humanity where people are, as the cliche goes, they're waking up, the Great Awakening. I've never saw so many clever, intelligent people rising up and saying, fuck you, this is bullshit. Yous are fucking doing this for another reason. Now, whether it's nefarious, I don't know, I don't care. I know there is an evil out there. I know there is a badness out there. Why? Because that's where I grew up. I grew up in all that badness and evilness and fucking nastiness with these horrible people. And sadly, they're fucking everywhere. So to see humanity come into this new era, this new unwritten future, even Nostradamus couldn't predict what's going to come. And I love it. Thanks for listening. I'm going to go now, because I'm sure my wife must be fucking due to come in the house. Been in there for hours. And relax. As our man Jim Diamond says, hi ho silver, away!